I'm doing good. Sorry about that, boys.
No problem.
You got me.
Hey, I want to ask you. We were just talking about what's going on in Michigan. I don't know how you could comment on that, but stealing signs and things like that. Is it necessary? Does it have to happen? We know it happens, but does it really give you an edge at the end of the day?
Well, I think at the end of the day, players still got to go out and execute.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's where we spend all the time. I mean, set the stealing of signs aside for a second, right? And I mean, in essence, that's what you're really trying to do, right? You're trying to get tendencies based off the study of film all week long, formations, down and distances, spots on the field, red zone, high red, low red, midfield, backed up. You study all of those different situations, personnel, and scenarios so that you do know what's coming, right? So you're trying to do that already. Is sign stealing something that goes on in the game? I mean, anyone that would say that people aren't trying to pick signs, just generally speaking, that happens across the board. Not every place, not all the time, but it's something that exists in the game. I think everybody knows that. What's going on, obviously, at Michigan, alleged, until they get their findings. I mean, that's just, I can't comment on that in terms of, I don't know all the details and all the facts. You guys know that. But, it's something that's out there in the world of college football to a degree. Does it help? I imagine that it probably would. But at the end of the day, I mean, you got to go out. The players got to go out and play the game and make plays, period.
Coach Charlie Ragle joining us here on Fox Sports 910. Coach, would you be in favor of full-time refs in the Pac-12 or Big 12 or whatever conference in college?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's hard. I know you. I know you can't comment, but we spent the last 3 days talking about how bad the officiating is and how it costs a game, and then you hear about it, and even some other schools in the Pac-12 dealing with the same thing. That this is big business, and they got to figure this out. You can't drop a flag then pick it up.
Well, I think that at the end of the day, right, when you invest in something, you get what you pay for, the old adage, right? And in terms of if I'm fully invested in something and you're doing it as a full-time job, you're going to get full-time results. Listen, we all make mistakes. To err as human, coaches, players, officials, everybody does. That's part of it, all right? That happens. I get that. But I think if you went all in and that was the case, I think that, that would be something that would definitely be a benefit at any league, period.
Coach, I got to tell you what, and if there's a few things, I don't come off the couch much when I watch games, but I came off the couch on the picking up the flag on the no call. That's all I'm going to say. There was an atrocity. But all that being said in reference to that game, yeah, Coach,
like the giggle, Coach.
Yeah.
Boys. Man, we could turn this thing into something really hot. Right?
Yeah, we could. We'll wait for the off season with a couple beers. All right.
I'm gonna need that, and that will be a conversation I am looking forward to having.
Okay.
I mean, all that being said, Coach, you look at this game. What a phenomenal! That's one of the best defensive game plans that Brian Ward had against Washington that I've seen in Sun Devil Nation many, many years. Obviously the pick six came back to haunt you and won the game. But all that being said, was that a growth game for the Sun Devil program? Did this team grow knowing they were that close? And I know more victories, Coach, aren't going to, but did that team grow knowing they were that close from having one of the greatest upsets of all time?
I hope so. I think we're going to find out this weekend, right? I think that how do you respond from that? I think it was certainly, and I told Coach Dillingham this yesterday. I thought how he went about the preparation for that week and how he got the team prepared was outstanding. We were ready to play that football game. And I know, it didn't end up the way we wanted it. And I know, we had some struggles, kicking a field goal protection, some offensive things that, the pick six you wish you could take back. But, and our defense did. They played lights out. You hope, that that's a moment that we look at and say, hey, we went into a hostile environment. We battled. We had a chance to win that game. You hope that's a growing moment, but it only becomes a growing moment on what we do moving forward.
Sure.
And so I think that's going to be a real test for us coming back home this week, a homecoming against Washington State. And do we learn and do we grow from that moment and do we put it into play here this Saturday?
Coach, I guess what I appreciate about the game, you can tell me if I'm wrong, I love the pace of the game that Kenny had. He didn't hurry up. You ran the ball. You kind of, I don't know, you guys kind of just were methodic going down the field. And you kept that offense on the sideline, that being the Washington offense, almost 4, 5, 6 minutes at time. Was that part of the game plan, just to kind of, let's just slow this thing down and keep them over on the sideline?
Well, I think in the sense that, being efficient with what we do was certainly part of it, right? And that was certainly in the game plan. And I think that we did, to your point, we did do that, and obviously when you can keep an offense of that magnitude with the weapons that they have on the sideline, it certainly behooves us, and it did. And, obviously I think the thing that can't go unnoticed is we really got into the turnover business against UW, to get 4 turnovers, obviously really, really helped us. But it was certainly part of it, and we benefited from that. It's just, again, listening and talking with Marvin, Marvin Lewis, and just at some point we got to go take it.
Yeah.
We've been so close in so many of these games, and that's part of the growth, and that's part of the culture and the things that are building. But, to the point, we play to win, right? We want to win, and we want to win bad. And at some point, for a first time in anything you do in life, when you do it for the first time, you ultimately end up just doing it. You've got to do it. And we've got to find a way to just get the win. And then I think, several more could follow after that.
Charlie, let me get this one because we're getting tight on time. With Washington State coming in, they lost at UCLA, got blasted by Arizona. By watching that film, what's different now with the Cougars than it was, say, at the beginning of the season when they beat Wisconsin?
Well, I think, anytime you win, it becomes infectious, right? And it's kind of the old Uncle Bo jumps on your back. You've got the momentum. I think that when you're playing at a high level and your outcomes are wins, everything fits better. Everything looks better. The belief system in itself is better, right? And you find ways to make plays, just what we were talking about. You find a way to get that extra yard. You find a way to make that extra catch or come up with that extra turnover. When you're losing, it doesn't seem that the ball bounces your way and you don't seem to get those breaks that you do when you're winning, whether that's real or perceived. I mean, that's just what it is. And so I think, coming off of a couple of losses, these guys are going to be hungry to come here and get back on the winning track. And obviously we're thirsty to get back into the winning column since the first week of the season. And, something's got to give here Saturday afternoon.
Go get him, Coach. Thanks for the time as always.
Appreciate you guys as always. Go Devils.
Hey, follow him on Twitter at Ragle Charlie. He's presented by the Crest Insurance Group. Crest Insurance Group, they offer personal, business, specialty insurance solutions for clients across all markets. Just go to their website, crestins.com. Appreciate Coach Ragle joining us today as the Devils are underdogs, but less than a touchdown, +6 against the Cougars. The over-under at 51. Coming up, it's back. The return of Rox Manvice.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Were you around for Rox Manvice?
I think I missed it. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, are you in for a treat then,
I
Jimmy?
can hardly wait.
It's about damn time.
It's a Throwback Thursday.
Okay.
Topic is places where women do not want to go on a first date. Plus